Our Mississippi mud pie is decadent. The intense chocolate filling is topped with a cloud of whipped cream and a shower of chocolate shavings. The best part is the crust. We brush it with melted chocolate and coat it with chopped pecans. The crust for Mississippi mud pie is often made out of crushed chocolate cookies. At Everyday Food, we did something a little different. We started with our favorite pie crust, a 9-inch deep pie shell. And you can see that it's at least 1.5 inches deep. And then I chilled it again so it was really nice and cold. And then to pre-bake this, I take a piece of parchment. And then I take my pie weights. Now, these are ceramic pie weights, but you can also use dried beans or rice. And the advantage to these is that they hold heat a lot longer and they're heavier than beans. Pour them in. I preheated the oven to 375 degrees, and this is going to bake for about 15 to 20 minutes. After that, we remove the parchment paper, being careful because those pie weights are very hot, and we continue to brown it for another 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so here I have a beautifully blind-baked pie shell. To make the chocolate layer on the bottom, all we did was take 2 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate and fully melted and still very warm, because I'm going to use this chocolate as a glue to hold my pecans to the bottom of that pie shell. And then you can either use a brush or a spatula. Just get that all around. Now before it sets, you want to get these pecans. I have a cup of pecans that I toasted at 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. And just sprinkle these evenly on the bottom. Now when that seizes, when that chocolate gets hard, it's going to hold those pecans in. So we're going to move on now to the filling, which starts off with 4 large eggs. To that I'm going to add a cup of granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons of corn syrup. That corn syrup is going to give a chewy, fudgy texture to the Mississippi mud pie. That looks about right. Half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're just going to whip this until it becomes doubled in volume or it holds a ribbon. Okay, that's just about ready. You can see that it's making a little bit of a trail there, and that's what you're looking for. It's nice and thick and ribbony. And now we have a stick of butter that's been melted with 6 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. And you just want to fold that in a little before we add it into here. And now we're going to pour this. Now you want to fold this in quickly before that chocolate gets too hard. Okay, so what happens when we beat the eggs like that is we're causing almost a souffle reaction. In other words, this mixture is going to come up pretty high in the oven, and then it's going to fall, almost like a fallen chocolate cake. So now we're going to fill the crust. That's perfect. Now we're going to reduce the oven to 350 degrees. We're going to bake this for about 35 to 40 minutes until the top forms a thin crust and the filling is just set. After it is baked, let it cool at room temperature, and then chill it in the refrigerator for about 2 hours until it's fully set. Now when you're ready to serve, top it with fresh whipped cream. It's easy to make. Just take 1 cup of heavy cream and a 1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar and whip it till soft peaks form. And then shave bittersweet chocolate right on top. Whether you're in the mood for apple pie, fruit pie, sweet potato pie, or Mississippi mud pie, any one of our everyday food recipes will satisfy. And the best part of all, they're easy as pie.